Hello, and thank you so much for joining me in this lesson where we're going to be talking all about intimacy. What is intimacy? This is one of the biggest misconceptions there is, I think, in media about relationships and love. What comes to mind when you think of intimacy? A lot of people think about physical intimacy, things like sex, things like holding each other. Other people think to different things. But what we're going to propose here is that intimacy is something very different. It's the ability to share the way you see the world with someone else and to feel like you're not judged, like it's okay to share your view of the world with them, and for them to be able to do the same to you, for your partner to be able to share their view of the world with you, and you to be able to accept that. Where are we coming from with this? So I think that one of the most important parts of a relationship is security. It's a sense of safety, security in your partner. Humans are a very social species. We have needed other people to survive, and until fairly recently, you absolutely couldn't survive unless you had support from others. So for a very long time, humans lived in small groups called harems, which was like a few dozen individuals who would live together. This was before civilizations, and and do everything together, and they would all support each other. And if you were excluded from this harem, you would often not make it because you had to be a part of a community to survive. It really took a village to raise a child and to keep somebody going. It's not like you could just go to the grocery store, okay? Now, what happened is, because it's so important to be accepted, because if you weren't accepted, you often wouldn't make it. Over time, I think that humans have built a very substantial need and desire to feel accepted by others. It's the same, it was so important in the past to survival. I mean, it's still very important today to have contacts and to feel accepted by others. But what I'm saying is it's always been essential. Today, if you're not part of a large community, I mean, you could still get groceries and have food to eat, but you would still need it to capture your emotional needs. Now, intimacy, I suggest, is the epitome of this, like the absolute maximum that you could have of this feeling of acceptance, which is the ability to just share your worldview, to share how you feel, how you see things honestly, and to be accepted by your partner, for them not necessarily to agree with everything you say, but to give you a platform to share that, to understand you, like to make you feel like you can share that with someone else and someone else gets you. We're going to talk throughout this course on communication strategies to make it easier for us to share our worldview with our partners and for our partners to understand it and to receive that. But that is something so important. Intimacy is not a physical thing only. It's a connection, a deep, deep connection that often comes through this emotional, this sharing, this understanding that we've always needed as humans. I challenge you to change the way that you think about intimacy. Instead of you just thinking about a physical connection, okay, which doesn't work for everyone. Like often you need the emotional connection first to make your partner feel safe in the physical connection, okay? But think of intimacy from an emotional level. Think about it as the ability just to connect on a very, very deep level with your partner by inviting them to share their worldview and for you to share yours. That is something so special, and it will lead to a sense of safety between you. I think the most important part of a relationship is a sense of safety. It's for your partner to feel safe expressing themselves to you and to know that you're there for them and you're looking out for them and vice versa. To know that there's someone in the world who cares about you and thinks about you and is willing to support you to help you grow, because we often greatly benefit from having a teammate. We're going to explore this all in the section on teamwork and what it looks like in a relationship. Hint, hint, we don't always have to solve our partner's problems. We just have to listen and acknowledge them, okay? That's a big thing. It's going to completely change the way that you feel when your partner approaches you. But just remember, intimacy comes from connection, comes from sharing. So whenever you can, try to create a safe space for your partner to share how they feel with you. Invite them to share that with you and accept it. Be curious to learn about them. Because when they can really share their view with you and you can share with them, you'll have true, beautiful, and long-lasting intimacy that will only make you understand each other even more. The more you understand each other in the good times, the easier it will be to understand each other in the hard times. Thank you so much for listening to this lesson. I'm so happy that you joined me. In the next lesson, we're going to be talking about the concept of an emotional bank account. I'll catch you in the next lesson.